Yes, going to the dental office, and I'm doing that today. Going to the dental office and gradually exposing the client to their fear.
They struggle, got purpose, and we grow. So whatever road we have to take next, all I need to know is that we'll roll with the punches.
All right, fam, we are back. We're back for another daily, and I'm gonna say it every morning. I'm gonna keep reminding us we're so blessed that our eyes open again, our heart's still beating, our brain is still functioning, and we get to live another day together on this earth, living this one life that we're given. And I'm so excited today to continue to talk to you about mental health, putting mental health out in this world. That's what we do. Is we just we're there putting mental health out in the world, trying to change the way that we talk and do mental health. And fam, today is an exciting day for me. As you probably heard recently, we've got 4 new integrations: psychiatric care, homes, schools, and dental care. And today, while we haven't partnered with the dentist yet, hopefully we do soon, I'm going to help an individual therapy client. I'm going to help them with some exposure work. So this client has some anxiety, and I'm going today to work with them before the dental work's done, work with them and the dentist to do exposure response prevention. It's a special treatment, a cognitive behavioral treatment that we do, that we're going to talk all about that today. We're going to talk about exposure response prevention, specifically with people that have dental anxiety, and I'm going to tell you all about it today. Also, I'm going to tell you the best compliment that I ever got from a client. I'm going to talk about that today, and who knows what else we'll get into. So you guys sit back, put on your seatbelts, and enjoy this ride around. Doing community-based mental health, fam. Doing it the MWA thing, doing mental health differently. Let's go. So I got about a 15-minute drive to a client's home. So, hey, let's get into this dental anxiety exposure response prevention. What's this all about? It sounds really scary. It's not really scary. The exposure work is actually supposed to make the procedures less scary for you. And so, the idea is basically kind of, if you're like climbing a ladder, you're gonna just kind of one step at a time right? You think about going to the dentist and getting a cavity filled, and you think about that overall experience as being really scary. And so what we do is, the first step is to help the client understand just anxiety, and we do some stuff we do some preparation first. We work on the cognitive part first. Okay, so when we're working on anxiety, mint in my mouth. Again, Mom, I'm sorry. I'm talking with my mouth open. Well, I guess I talk with my mouth open. I'm supposed to. But anyway, we do cognitive work before, at the beginning. And so we're talking about anxiety. We're talking about how anxiety plays tricks on your mind and body. And so there's some initial work that goes on before the exposure, okay? But at some point, basically, we're talking to the client about actually going to the dental office. Yes, going to the dental office, and I'm doing that today. Going to the dental office and gradually exposing the client to their fear, right? So exposure, gradually exposing, we're exposing to their fear, right? And then we are preventing them from doing what their natural response would be, okay? So exposure response prevention. So we go to the dental office and we gradually expose them to their fears. The idea is before we go to the dental office, we talk about the exposures we're going to do that day. We put them on a hierarchy. We rank them from 0 being no anxiety to 10 being the most anxiety ever. So this is called a SUDS, S-U-D-S, a SUDS scale. It's basically like a pain scale. And what we do is that we start at the bottom with the least anxiety-provoking situations, and we gradually expose them. So the least anxiety-provoking situation, I'm going to get rid of this mint because it's totally distracting me here, okay? So we gradually expose them based on 0. We start with the 0s or 1s, okay? And so generally it's okay sitting in the car, 0, okay? Sitting in the car in the parking lot, okay? Walking through the front door of the dentist office, oh, that's a 2 or a 3, okay? So maybe a session is getting out of the car and walking into the dental office, just walking in. That's part of a session, is just walking into the office, okay? So we create a hierarchy of all these steps, from just getting out of the car to completing the dental procedure. And so it's step by step, and we work with dentists, we work with the dental hygienist on this. And so what we do is we gradually expose someone, and then we're looking for their SUDS to drop. Generally have it drop by half. So if their SUDS initially is a 4, then we want it to drop to a 2, okay? And once it's dropped to a 2, then we can go on to the next exposure, right? We can go on to the next situation. But we don't go on to the next situation until their SUDS has dropped by half, okay? So in an exposure session, we might go to the car, then they walk into, get out of the car, they're walking into the dental office, and maybe just walking into the dental office is a 4, let's say. Okay, now we're gonna just sit in the waiting room until their SUDS is dropped by half to a 2. Okay, when their SUDS is dropped to a 2, now, okay, the next step is to go into the dental room, go into the dental chair, okay, and that spikes the anxiety up to, like, let's say a 6, okay, and so all we're gonna do is sit in that dental chair now until the SUDS has dropped by half to, let's say, a 3. That dropping, that waiting, right, is called habituation. In theory, it's the same situation that goes on when you get in a pool and the water's cold at the beginning, right? The water's cold, and naturally you just get used to it, okay? You get used to it. Now, in the process of exposing someone to their fears, that is the behavioral part of the plan, right? That's the behavioral part of our work. We also are working with them cognitively. We're helping these thoughts, these negative thoughts, these catastrophic thoughts, these distorted thoughts, we're helping them refrain. So we're not just doing the exposure. The real work is actually reframing the way that they think, the way that they relate to these exposures, relate to the situation, while at the same time helping them tolerate those physical feelings, helping them tolerate those feelings and emotions that come with being exposed to their fear. Okay, so we're reframing their thoughts, we're helping them tolerate, work through the feelings, encouraging them to take some deep breaths, to relax, to let the physical feelings kind of move through their body and out their body. Okay, and so that general process, that habituation, then will allow us to move on to the next step. Okay, so this can be a really intensive treatment. It only works if you frequently do the exposures. Okay, so we're asking clients to expose themselves to these fears in between sessions, and if they don't do that, then we have to make sessions frequent. Okay, not only that they have to be experiencing some anxiety. The goal is never to have the client have a panic attack. Rather, it's like a thermometer. It's like controlling the temperature. Like we're just wanting to control the anxiety enough that they're able to tolerate and move through the anxiety. Okay, it's a step-by-step process where we need the exposures to be frequent, and we also need them to be experiencing anxiety. If they're not experiencing anxiety, then we're not really working on anything. And if the anxiety is too much, they're being flooded and they're not being able to cognitively reframe. They're not able to move through those exposures. Okay, this is a process that while I'm describing it here on camera, I would not want you to do this unless you're under the supervision of a well-trained therapist. Okay, because this can backfire on you. This can be trouble for some of you that really just kind of struggle with anxiety. You can actually do kind of reverse effect. So anyway, that's exposure. That's for clients that struggle with dental anxiety, and I'm excited to do that today, to go into the dental office and work with the client. Should be a lot of fun, exciting. It's very rewarding work because you see in the moment, in real life, client really going through anxiety and then being able to reframe and then overcome that anxiety. All right, fam, I want to talk with you just for a second on my way from a great client session. But I want to talk with you about what's the best compliment I have ever gotten as a therapist. Can you guess? I'll just give you a second to guess. You helped me with my anxiety in an elevator that I had for 30 years, or hey, you helped my child overcome social anxiety. No, none of that. I mean, those things are great and I appreciate it, and yes, I do just love all those comments and that feedback. I tell clients, hey, I'm a big boy. I like your feedback, the good, the bad, and the ugly. Hey, whatever it is, because my connection, our relationship as a therapist, as a client, I believe is the most important part of therapy. The clinical stuff we can figure out. It's not rocket science, but the connection, you either know it or you don't with the therapist. The best compliment that I ever got from a client is when they said, hey, Randy, I know that you're really busy, but we feel like you're our only... No, let me say that over. Okay, they said, hey, Randy, I know you're really busy, but we feel like we are your only client. Let me say that again. So you hear it, let it soak in, because I was like, oh, wow, that's really what I want. I mean, I've never really thought about it in that way. Oh my gosh, here we go. We got to train. Let's go. So we got more time to talk about this, but they say, hey, Randy, we feel like we are your only client. And to me, fam, that's really what I want everyone to feel. I want them to feel that specialness. I want them to feel like, oh, we got this train coming, okay? Hopefully you can still hear me. But I want them to feel like they are the ones getting my full attention, because I know it's hard. For us therapists, I know if you're a teacher, I know if you manage people, if you're in charge of people, if you've got a lot of people that you coordinate with, there's a lot that goes on, right? And for someone to say to me, we know that you're very busy, but we feel like you're our only client. No, I can't say that. Okay, let me say that again. They said, we know that you're very busy, but we feel like we are your only client. There we go. I mean, that's the connection. That's what I want. I want that. And for me, there's lots of things that I do as a therapist to make sure that happens. Every time before I go into a therapy session, I turn off the car. Right before I get out of the car, I take some deep breaths. I relax. My goal is to let all that stuff go that happened in the last therapy session. Let all that stuff go that's in my life. This is where I'm at in the moment. I talk to you guys about that all the time, and I strongly believe and use being in the moment in your life. I believe is one of the most important skills that you can use. And when I'm with that client, I'm not thinking about anything else. I am only thinking about them. I'm only thinking about them. And I love all that. I love also when clients, when I haven't seen clients for a while, they get older, they're at a different stage in their life. I see them, maybe they're in a grocery store and now they're in college, or they just graduated high school, or whatever it is. I love seeing clients just do their everyday life, and just do the things that they enjoy and do the things that make them happy. So, hey, I'm speaking to you out there, whoever you are, whoever you're listening to. I want the most. I want the most for you. I want the most for you. That's why I do this. Is it whatever it is that you want, whatever it is that you need to get the most out of life. That's why I'm here doing this, fam. That's why I'm here doing this. Let's go. All right, listen, parents of kids that emotionally just melt down, have tantrums, struggle with regulating their emotions. I added, because I've been seeing so many of you parents struggling with kids that are just really struggling emotionally and behaviorally right now. I added a new group starting this Saturday, Bad Kids. I don't call them bad, you call them bad. Bad Kids. It's a parent group this Saturday, 1 o'clock, and it's a bunch of parents that struggle. It's a parent support group that struggle. I will talk about some of the key concepts of behavioral modification plan, amongst many other things, about how to manage yourself when your child is struggling emotionally and behaviorally. But also, what do you do? How do you parent a child that is emotionally and behaviorally struggling? I hope you'll join us for Bad Kids. It's a great group of parents that really are just looking for support from other parents and some guidance to help them, because in their homes, every home that I go into, it seems like World War III, and I can just tell from parents, you're worn down, you need help. And you always tell me, hey, you haven't met a kid like my kid. You haven't met a kid. And I always say, hey, that's right, I've never met a kid that I can't develop a relationship with, that I can't help. I've never met parents that I can't support. Okay, we can figure this out. I hope you'll join us this Saturday at 1 o'clock for Bad Kids. On track, now we going way up. W's as easy as a layup.